Actually, I am going 6-0 in the division because the rest of the division sucks.
This is the best division in football, Tori. Take that step back. We are seeing the true quarterback that he really is, which he is not a very good quarterback.
Welcome to the Man Now, where we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Won't miss a game or two, cause we here for you and we reporting all of them stats. We coming to you live to keep you updated. Broadcast across the country, we the fan favorites. Break the volume to the max and don't nobody touch it. We crossing topics off the list, addressing every subject. So if you ain't got a clue, then you can tune in and give it 24 hours and we back again. Breaking news, new scoops, we the top dogs. From the fields to the courts, we report it all. Buzzer beat us through your speakers, we the ones to call. Trust us for the news if it's got a ball. Giving you the top stories cause we love the turf. Tell a friend to tune in and where you heard it first. Yeah, you're listening to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them stats. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them facts. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them facts. Turn the speakers up a little loud. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them stats. Because you listen to the Man Hour.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckosher here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com as I am pushing the wrong buttons here. There we go. Let's get that out of here. All off cue here. So let's go ahead and bring the man, the myth, the legend himself right off the bat here, Mr. Brandon BC Combs. Combsy, what's going on, buddy?
Woo! What is up, Michael Buckeister? What is going on? Man Hour Nation, 313 The Flash, Belly Up Sports, Big X Radio, people having tea and crumpets over in the UK listening to us right now. Man, I've had a day. It's been a week. It's been a bad week. We had a meeting today at work, and during that meeting, it actually turned into a Man Hour watch party. So shout out to, and then they started buying gear.
There we go.
So shout out to all my coworkers. Big shout out to Pam and Liz, who are the office assistants in the office there, and Pam is watching tonight with her son Devin. So shout out to Pam and Devin as well. Man, I'm excited for this long weekend. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, me too, man. But so huge shout out to Pam and Devin there. Pam and Devin, if you guys haven't got your gear yet, you can use promo code BEARSSUCK at checkout and save yourself some dollar bills, y'all. Because Combs is like, hey, we need a discount code, and Mr. Tori Anderson himself. So let's go ahead and bring Tori on the show. Like he's like hashtag Bears still suck. So that's the promo code for tonight. So that'll be live until Tuesday. Bears suck. If you guys want some merch.
You ain't funny.
What's that?
I say you ain't funny.
We ain't trying to be funny. We be spitting facts, fool.
Oh
God.
Drop it Eminem style. Drop it down with the freestyle, Tori. Come on, man. You can do it.
God.
I
the whitest fool I've
need
ever heard in my life.
I need a different beat.
All right. Hey, I got you, man. Here we go. Ready? Here's some 9 Inch Nails.
Oh God.
I need something with bass though too. Like I need a poof.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh God, this is gonna be horrible.
Because I can't rap.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Ready? Go.
Today is the day that we know that the Bears still suck. And Combsy, you can I can't say that word on the air.
Oh man.
You can suck my nuts. Got it for you.
Guys, we got kids listening.
Kids,
Oh.
children.
It's peanuts. Suck my peanuts.
Oh, like
Yeah.
the salted kind?
Yeah,
My-
like extra salty ones.
Suck my Pen 15.
Pistachios.
So,
Pistachios.
speaking of being salty, guys, we've been talking a lot about Miami Dolphins and Tua and possibly Watson going to like Miami, and it's just it has kind of been a crap storm like over there. As Don says, what is happening? Don, watch the replay and you know exactly what is happening. But like I said, as we said last night, Brian Flores said that Tua is our guy. So, Mr. Brandon BC Combs, what is Flores really saying when he says Tua is our guy?
Tua's their guy. I mean, right now, Tua Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And he's their guy. I mean, what else is he supposed to say? What is he supposed to? Well, man, we got this kid Tua. He looks all right. But, man, I really hope we get that Deshaun guy. Like, come on. Of course he's going to back up Tua. Of course he's going to back up his guy. The coaches, the GMs, they always say the right thing. They say the things that are going to back up their decisions. They say the things that are going to back up the calls that they make. that's just what they do, and they're not going to say anything different. They're not going to bash their guy. They're not going to throw him under the bus, unless you're Matt Nagy in the middle of the season. But you're not going to throw your guys underneath the bus. You're going to tell your guys, hey, this is our starter, this is our guy, and you're going to tell him he's the guy right up until your GM comes and says, hey, we got a shot to get Deshaun Watson. All of a sudden, Tua won't be your guy no more.
So basically, what you're saying, he is good enough for now. So Tori, how long is Tua good enough in Miami?
He's good enough until he's not good enough. Just like any other player in the NFL.
Hashtag waffle.
No, it's true. You're good. You're only the hero long enough till you see yourself become the villain.
As much as we miss Wyatt, we still have Tori.
Yeah.
So.
Tori has been like the waffling expert as of late. I mean, we definitely need to drop that waffle merch soon, huh?
Oh,
right.
For sure. 100%.
So
promo code Bearsuck.
Tua. Promo code Bearsuck. Till Tuesday. So no, Tua, I don't think they believe in him. I don't think they have from the start. Otherwise, they would have tried to play him a little bit more last year than they did. And like they said, they would put him into games. I'm watching right now in the background. I have the Week 10 games on, and they're doing the red zone replay, and Tua's in. And I believe that's a game against the Broncos that they had Fitzpatrick come in and close that game out for him.
Yeah, called in the reliever.
Well, so if you have that much confidence in your quarterback, you're not going to pull him and put your other starter in and say, well, we're just going to use him to close out the game. That means that your quarterback you don't trust to close out the game.
So are we going to see Jacoby Brissett kind of be that middle reliever for Miami this year, Combs?
No, absolutely not. There's no look. Tua is going to be their guy again until he's not, and unless Deshaun Watson is the name, Tua's going to be that guy. And they could be 0-9, 0-10, and then maybe they'll bring in Brissett. But until that point, it's going to be Tua's team. And I don't think they're going to be 0-9, 0-10. I think that they might be the second best team in this division. I really do. I think that behind Buffalo, it's them and New England. And that's the close race maybe between them and New England. But I think they're definitely right now. I give them the edge over New England. I have them as the second best team in this division.
So Mr. Manhour_Tory on the old Twitter machine here, is Jacoby Brissett going to be a middle reliever for Tua?
No, Tua, he's going to end up being the starter.
Jacoby Brissett's going to be a starter
at some point this season.
Okay.
I think that like I said, I'm going to replay it back to last year. They don't have the confidence in him. Jacoby Brissett is an NFL starting quarterback caliber quarterback. He didn't really have a good shot.
Like any rookies? Do you like any young players? Because you're like Zach Wilson's trash. You're like,
I do.
Andy Dalton should start the entire year for the Bears. You're like, oh no, Tua's not gonna make it. Is there any young player that you think is good right now, worthy of playing without somebody taking their spot?
Let's stay on task at this point, and let's answer the first question first. So, I think that Jacoby will end up in there because they do not have complete confidence in him yet. There's people are talking about, well, he's passed the eye test in the preseason. That's great. It's the preseason. Once the bullets start flying, they always say the best laid battle plan goes right out the window after the first shot.
Right.
So, we'll see what happens. And I don't know. I think he has the tools physically to be a good NFL quarterback. I think for him, it's between the ears that he's going to doubt himself, and that's what's going to cause him hesitation. It's going to cause him to lose his job at some point during the season to Jacoby Brissett.
So Combs, you seem in really big, like you don't agree with that one bit whatsoever. So do you think Tua is going to start the whole year?
Yeah, Tua's going to be the starter the whole year. I think they are probably going to win about 9 or 10 games in this division. They're going to compete for a wild card spot. There's no reason to think that Tua's not the guy there. And Jacoby Brissett, look, I mean, he had a shot in Indy, kind of, but they didn't. They realized that he wasn't the guy. Jacoby Brissett is a nice piece if you're trying to run a wildcat here and there. That's what Jacoby Brissett is. Tua is the guy who you drafted 5th overall to be your starting quarterback. So you're
Where
going
did-
to give him every opportunity to fail
Where did Jacoby Brissett start his career?
in New England.
Who was a coach for a while in New England?
Same coach that they have now, Bill Belichick. What's your point?
Brian Flores.
No, Brian Flores. The system.
That doesn't. Come on
S-
now.
so-
Have we not learned by now that everything in New England was Tom Brady's system?
That is not true.
Have we not learned that by now?
So Combs, you bring up some great points here that Jacoby Brissett kind of had a chance in the NFL. He got thrown into the starting role when Andrew Luck basically retired. Well, he did retire from the NFL. 2 weeks before the season started. So that whole team was built around Andrew Luck's passing game, of the inability to move, etc. It was not built for Jacoby Brissett, and they played that full year out. And I think he started the next year as well. And I think if I remember correctly off the top of my head, he did lead them to the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. But then they brought Phillip Rivers in, and then they brought Carson Wentz in this year. So did he really get a fair shot? No, he did not. So I think
What do you mean? It's just like the Teddy Bridgewater thing. There's a reason why teams aren't sticking with these guys. There's a reason why teams think, because eventually these are the types of guys, Teddy Bridgewater's, the Jacoby Brissett's, are the types of guys who are great until defenses catch up to them. And defenses are going to catch up to them pretty quick.
Well, the reason why Jacoby Brissett ultimately leaving Indy was because they had a team built for a quarterback like Andrew Luck, which in return is a quarterback like Carson Wentz, like Phillip Rivers. So it is easy to plug and play quarterbacks. That is why Jacoby Brissett ultimately left. Let's just be honest. And what kind of quarterback does Jacoby Brissett match? Tua.
Yeah, but
What kind of
Carson
system
Wentz
is
isn't a
built
drop
around
back and
Tua?
throw type
Miami.
guy, though, either. Carson Wentz likes to get out of the pocket and throw on the run.
And then get
He's not
hurt.
just a straight
Exactly.
drop
Just
drop
like
back
Andrew
guy.
Luck.
Well, but I'm saying that it's not the same type of player. Andrew Luck wasn't a drop out of he was a drop out of the pocket if he had to.
Right.
Carson Wentz will drop out of the pocket quicker and float to his right or to his left and try
Well,
to throw the ball.
that
on
is
the run.
this year, but Phillip Rivers was there last year, and he was Andrew Luck-esque type of guy, right?
No, I mean I wouldn't put him on Andrew Luck level, but yeah, sure. He's that style. I mean,
So
yeah,
So, Tori, let me ask you this question here real quick. I mean, I know that you think Jacoby Brissett is going to be starter in Miami at some point this year, but should Miami aggressively pursue Deshaun Watson or fully buy into the Tua/Jacoby Brissett project here?
I think at this point they have to buy into Tua, except it's just not. I'm not saying I don't like Tua. I absolutely love Tua, and it's like I said, physically he is capable. I think for him, it's just he needs another year to mentally adjust to the game.
So what you're saying is he needed a year on the bench to learn, like most rookies should, right?
Yes.
Brandon BC Combs.
look,
Same question to you.
man,
Sorry, Tori.
there's not very many teams in this league that I would say no, you don't need to go and look at Deshaun Watson. So Deshaun Watson is kind of like, and here's the relationship that the Miami Dolphins need to have with Tua right now, with Deshaun Watson being out there. It's kind of like when you were a boy in high school, right? And you liked a girl and you were going to parties with a girl, but then this really, really hot chick would walk by. And all of a sudden she'd go out to go grab a beer, and all of a sudden you needed a beer. And all of a sudden you wanted to go talk, because you're not exactly faithful when you're that young and in high school. That's the type of relationship they need to have with Tua. And Deshaun Watson is that hot chick going to get a beer. So if Deshaun Watson goes to get a beer, the Miami Dolphins are going to need to go get a beer too. And that's what the Miami Dolphins are right now. And look, I think that Tua, I think that Tua is what we thought. Well, at least what I thought he was before the draft. I can't remember what you guys thought of him before the draft, but prior to the draft, I thought that Tua was just that guy who, is built to be a Nick Foles type guy. He's built to be a guy who can come in a pinch and win you a couple games when your starter goes down. And so that's just what I think Tua is. I think that's what Tua is destined to be in this league. He's going to be that guy who's always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Huh. So, Tori, before I cut you off, did you want to finish your thought here about the Tua and Jacoby thing? Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's okay. It's fine. You don't want to finish it up.
I'm fine. I'm going with the woman. I'm fine.
What are you, 3 years old?
No, he's actually a 45-year-old.
I am this many.
So, Tori, let me ask you this question quickly before we head to our first break here of the night. If Tua would to be traded to Houston, would he be successful in Houston?
No, because right now I don't think anybody would be successful in Houston except for Deshaun. They've got a lot of rebuilding to do. I don't see it right now.
If they had Deshaun Watson, they're instantly a contender in the East.
As in Miami?
Yeah.
They're a contender to win the AFC if they have them.
So
Absolutely.
Combs, would Tua be successful in Houston?
Nobody's going to be successful in Houston for at least the next 5 years.
Even with all those first-round picks that they are requiring or asking for Deshaun
draft
Watson.
the wrong guy. What do you mean? There's no quarterback that's going to be able to be successful in Houston.
They'll turn around and trade somebody for like a 7th-round pick that they could have got like 3 first-rounders for.
Right, exactly.
The ghost of Bill O'Brien.
They'll trade the 3 first-round picks for the 7th-round pick.
All right. So quickly, guys, let me ask you this question here. Brandon, with Tua at the helm for 17 games for the Miami Dolphins, where do you see them finishing in the AFC East?
Second, at either 9-8 or 10-7.
Tori, what about you?
I am right there with them. Second place, probably 9 or 10 wins.
So let's say Deshaun Watson comes to Miami and he plays 16 games because, week 1 is right around the corner and he starts week 2. Tori, where do they finish?
They're still a second place team. Still think it's Buffalo's division, but they're probably a 12-win team because Deshaun would have to learn their system.
Combs, what
yeah,
about you?
I'd put them in second still as well, only because I would have the Buffalo Bills somewhere like 14-3, and I'd have the Miami Dolphins right behind them, probably at like 13-4.
Alrighty, guys. So we are going to head to our first break here. You guys heard it first that Miami is a second place team, no matter if Tua or Watson is starting for the Miami Dolphins coming up here in the 2021 season. So coming up here on the Man Hour, guys, we are going to talk some Chicago Bears, some positive tests floating around the NFL, and of course we're going to talk some more Dak Prescott. And coming up at 8:45, 7:45 Central Time, we have That's Debatable with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Wayne G himself. So guys, sit back, we hit that like button, share this with a couple friends as well. We'll be right back, guys, here on the Man Hour.
Thought I'd ask.
What'd you say?
sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and the Mr. Tori Anderson tonight. You can find us all on the Twitter machine at manhour_Buck, manhour_Combs, and of course, manhour_Tori. As we do have some comments floating in here, and we will, anything that is relevant here on the chat line, we will bring up and discuss it. So if you guys got any questions or comments, definitely let us know here. So it is time to get into the meat and bones of the show here. But if you guys have not done so already, head over to manhourradio.com, check out the merchandise page, and you can use promo code BEARSUCK until Tuesday to get $5 off here on any of your purchase. So BEARSUCK promo code there at manhourradio.com when you do check
why
out.
do you have to come at me like that? Like, I mean, you're a Chiefs fan. You couldn't have gone with like Raiders suck, or like, I mean, anything. Broncos suck. No, you had to go.
You know what, Combs?
You emasculated him in front of his coworkers.
Yeah.
Do
But
you know what emasculate means?
no, I don't.
They're all Packers.
I had to
fans.
look it up.
But Combs, you are right. We do have Tori and Wyatt that are both Packer fans, and then we have us outsiders. So I do feel like we probably need to stick together moving forward. So like at this point, like I have become a passive Bear fans, I guess.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. Go
No, you're a
Lions.
Lions fan.
Go Lions, 10-7, 100% in the division. Bears suck. Promo code Bears suck at manhourradio.com, guys. Pick up some merchandise. Guys, we're also giving away a trip to Vegas. If you haven't done so already, head over to youtube.com/manhour, and you can hit the join button.
Lucky.
What's that?
So lucky I can't create promo codes.
You can head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit the join button. And for $5.99 a month, you get entered into the Vegas trip there. You also get weekly prizes here if you are a top chatter, like a top point getter here on the YouTube lives. And, Joey, thank you for the like, man. And guys, it is a fun time. However, you do have to be 18 to win that prize. So, obviously 18 and older, go to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button, $5.99 a month. But guys, let's go ahead and get into the meat and bones of the show. And speaking of Mr. Brandon BC Combs, Chicago Bears, Combs, your general manager, Mr. Ryan Pace, says, and I quote, "We are very confident with Andy as an Andy Dalton. There is no need to rush Fields onto the field." Are you buying any of this, Combs, or is he simply just putting some padding underneath the fall so Matt Nagy doesn't look like a total dumbass when Justin Fields blows up in the NFL?
No. So what this is again, and like we opened up the show and I said the same thing. It's just a GM saying the right things to make his decisions and stand by them. No, you can't be confident seeing what you've seen over the last, 5-6 years out of Andy Dalton. You can't be confident after what you've seen out of the preseason from Andy Dalton. So no, I don't think they're confident in Andy Dalton at all. I think that they're biding their time. I think that they needed to allow Andy Dalton to start the first couple of games so that they could save face, because trading him at this point, they would look stupid. And they're going to allow him to play against the Rams. They're going to lose that game. They're going to allow him to have his revenge games in week 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals. They're probably going to lose that game, but he might show up and have a decent game. They have a chance to win that one. And then they're going to lose in week 3 to the Cleveland Browns. And then Andy Dalton's going to be riding the pine behind Justin Fields for the rest of the season.
So just so I hear you correctly, you say that Andy Dalton is starting the season 0-3, right?
0-3 or 1-2. They've got a chance against Cincy, but I think it's an outside chance. It just depends on how Andy Dalton, is in his game. When you have these revenge games, it goes one of two ways.
Right.
You either murder the other team or they murder you.
Right.
It's there's usually no in between. So they've got a chance, but I mean, he really has to show up in week 2. I'm just not confident that he can.
All right. So Mr. Tori Anderson, you've heard what Brandon BC has said, and obviously he is a homer. He has become a huge Justin Fields fan since the night of the draft, when we did the night of the draft here. So what are your realistic, thoughts here? Is Ryan Pace just backing his head coach, or does he really believe in Andy Dalton?
Nobody believes in Andy Dalton except for you, Buck.
Top 15 quarterback in the league, hands down.
So what he is doing is he's going to end up pushing his head coach out that he wants to get rid of because he's going to leave Andy Dalton in there. He's hoping he doesn't get axed, and they're going to go after one more top 10 pick because they're going to sandbag this season and say, oh, well, we just wanted Justin to learn. And then they're going to pick another offensive lineman, solidify that offensive line, turn the keys to the Ferrari over to Justin Fields next year, and watch the kid explode.
You much like a lot of the ESPN and
Don't you call me
Fox
ESPN.
Sports that I listen to on the radio all the time keep saying the same thing. Oh, well, if Matt Pace or if Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, if they don't allow if they don't allow him to succeed, or if what they're trying to do is blow the season. No, they're not. They were a playoff team last year. If they regress so far to the point where they're getting a top 10 pick in the draft, they're not getting another season. There's no chance that they get another season. If they regress that far, you are not a playoff team with a quarterback who you said wasn't good enough to be your quarterback, so you sent him to Buffalo. Then you signed Andy Dalton, who's just like the 95-year-old version of the guy you sent to Buffalo.
But you have Nick
And
Foles.
you're going to regress? If you regress, you're done. Like, that's the end of your season. So no, they're not. They're going to have a short leash on Andy Dalton. You guys are missing the bus on that one, because there is no way they are going to allow this team to regress unless it is at the hands of Justin Fields, where they can say, look, he played well. He learned, he got a whole bunch of experience, and we can grow from this. That's the only way they can regress and not make the playoffs this year and still have a job next season.
Tori, what are your thoughts?
No.
Yeah, he knows I'm right, but can't say anything.
I really believe that they will try to sandbag this season. It makes a ton of sense as to why to do it, though.
Why?
It makes all the sense.
You can set up the table for the guy who's going to take over for your job?
Yeah.
Come on. It doesn't make sense at all.
If he went to Virginia and said, Virginia, I love you, girl, but this is what we're gonna do this season because we're gonna get. By the way, if you look on a tree somewhere in Chicago, there's probably something that says Brandon plus Virginia somewhere on a tree.
No.
But the thing is, I think this could be a backroom deal of a semi-tank job.
So
it's not going to be full on tank job, but semi-tank job. Just say trust in us.
okay, so
yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
So we've seen a tank job try to happen in New York, right? I mean, what they were 0-12 or 0-13, and we see them try to do a tank job, and then they got a coach fired because they accidentally won a game, just because you cannot tell players to go lose a game but still kind of coach good. And so when you accidentally win a game, so Mr. Torrey Anderson,
that was still the most blatant firing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Absolutely.
You won, you're fired.
so Tori, let's say the Chicago Bears do try to tank, and they're 0-10, right? And then let's say the Minnesota Vikings come into town. I think they come into town week 11, if I'm not mistaken, and they accidentally win that game. Does Matt Nagy get fired after their tank job failure?
No, because I don't think they're going for the number 1 pick. I just said a top 10 pick.
And Bears don't fire coaches mid-season either. They've never done it.
Well, and they've also never won a Super Bowl since '85, right?
That's their
Sure.
That's their only that's
Sorry.
their only Super Bowl.
I know you ain't talking.
Who, me?
No,
At least-
freaking Tory over here. Hey, Mr. Green Bay Packers. We're the greatest franchise ever. We've won 2 Super Bowls in the last 30 years.
13 NFL world titles, and ain't nobody else got that.
So you're hanging on the 50s and 60s. Oh, okay, cool.
Just like the Bear fans are hanging on to 85.
85.
We don't hang on to 85. We
That's a
freaking
lie.
hate the fact that we haven't won since 85. What are you talking? We don't hang on to 85. We hang on to the Super Bowl shuffle because it's the greatest sports dance ever invented.
Wow. So Combs, let's go ahead and move past that because that is a horrible dance. So let me ask you this: like at what point do the Chicago Bears fan base start calling for Matt Nagy's head this season? If any
They've
time
already
this
started
year.
calling for
I was gonna say,
Nobody-
what do you
nobody
mean?
wanted Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to be there this year. Nobody wanted them to make the draft picks this season. Okay, so yes, did they make the right moves this season? Yes, I was impressed. I really, honestly, I think they hired somebody to do the draft for them because these were not their picks. There's no way these were their picks. Judging by past drafts, there's no way that these were their picks. But these were the picks that were made this season, and they made some good picks. So and they're going on another season. Matt Nagy is like, I'm telling you right now, unless he goes through the playoffs and wins a game, Bears fans are not going to be happy, and Bears fans don't want him back next season. Same thing with Ryan Pace. They have to go to the playoffs and win a game to save their jobs, and they know that. That's why there is no way in God's green earth that Justin Fields is on the bench past week 4.
So this is going to be a question. Let's say Justin Fields is on the field come week 4, and the Chicago Bears don't win another game for the rest of the season. Let's say they finish 2-15, right? Which is a very real. This is a very real possibility because they do have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL, and I'm not trying to be mean about that whatsoever. But let's say Justin Fields does start week 4. Does starting a rookie quarterback give Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace a pass for this season on to next year?
No, they
Not at all.
They have no. The only way, do you not listen when I talk?
I do.
The only way they save their jobs is
did
to
you
go
say
to the
something?
playoffs and win a game. That's the only way. There's no other possibility that they are here next year. None.
Even though they start a rookie quarterback that should be sitting on the bench for the whole year.
No, first of all, no, he shouldn't. That's stupid. Stop saying that. I've already made you look stupid with that argument 3 times in the last month.
To who?
So don't make me
have you
do it
made?
again.
Yeah.
Both of you. Because that's a dumb
Yeah.
ass argument. It's just stupid.
So
In your
Tori,
opinion, but
Yeah.
it's true.
It's no, it's how is it true?
Who-
Why
Because
his
is he
situation
starting?
any
No,
different
he's
than
on
Mac-
the bench where he
Why
belongs.
is his situation any different than Mac Jones's situation? He's
Because-
got
because
a
Bill Belichick
veteran
is his
quarterback
head
who
coach.
doesn't belong in the league anymore, sitting ahead of him. The only difference between the Bears and the Patriots is their organization has enough balls to cut the veteran who no longer belongs as a starter in this league, and the Bears did not because they didn't want to look foolish.
So Tori, let me ask
Stop
you
yourself.
this. Let's cut off Brandon Combs here for a second. Let's give him a chance to call 911 because he's getting worked up. Is there any way that if the Bears go 2-15 and Justin Fields starts by week 4, like Brandon Combs is adamant of saying here, is there any way Matt Nagy saves his job?
Yeah, because like I said, if there's a backdoor deal that's already been made saying we're going to sacrifice the season, it could happen. However, if they do throw Fields in there and it goes south real quick, there's no chance. Him and Pace will both get axed at that point because they're going to expect, people are going to expect Fields to play every game like he did in the preseason. It's not going to happen with a rookie quarterback. Your Justin Herbert type seasons are far and few between for a rookie.
Combs, any thoughts on that before we head out?
I don't know what to tell you guys about this more than what I've already told you about it. You guys keep coming back with the he's a rookie. He's a stop.
It is
You
not
don't
the
say
fact
about
that
Zach
he's
Wilson. You don't say that about Mac Jones no more. You don't say that about Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields is better than 2 out of the 3 of those guys right now.
okay. So they're also on different organizations that know how to build players. What players has the Chicago Bears organization built?
Jacksonville knows how to build players.
Yeah.
They know how to get
Yeah.
rid of players and kill careers.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the
I mean,
Jets.
the
The
Patriots,
Jets, really?
the Patriots I will give you. And that's the only reason that the Mac Jones things flies is because of the organization and the way and his head coach. He has a head coach that will literally know everything about Mac Jones down to what color socks he wears on which day of the week, because that means he's going to do this. Like,
And who said that during the draft? Who said the perfect situation for Mac Jones going to New England where Bill Belichick is his coach because he will be their
Mike
starter?
Buckheister.
Yeah.
No.
I think we all kind
Not
of
at all.
agreed that Mac Jones' best spot
I did not.
was New England.
I kept yelling, Mac Jones is trash.
Yeah, he did.
So before we head to the next topic here, let's go ahead and address some of these comments here in the chat. Drew says Combs is turning pink. Can't tell if he's ticked off or he stepped on the sun for 5 minutes. Don't make fun of gingers here, Drew, because we have a whole show full of gingers coming up. So
And first of all, if I stepped on the sun for 5 minutes, I would be darker than dark.
yeah,
Because if I step out in the sun for 5 seconds, I'm beet red.
yeah. 100%. Me too.
Yeah.
So, and then Wayne G, which is coming on here in about 10 minutes here on the Man Hour 2-4. That's debatable. He says Bill Belichick could go 0-51 the next 3 seasons, and the Pats still wouldn't fire him. He has a lifetime exemption.
Agreed.
It's true.
True. And then
Fact,
Wayne G also says any reason to fire Adam Gase is a good reason.
I just like for whatever reason, I just like hearing Adam Gase get fired.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, I still remember when he got hired with the Jets, his freaking interview where his eyes were all. There was no way that he wasn't geeked out on something. They slipped him something in his drink because his eye, like he was going all over the place. He looked like that dude in the Men in Blood, the first Men in Black movie, where his eyes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So moving on to go
Here,
ahead.
Adam. Here's some Zoloft.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So moving on to the next topic here. So people are starting to really test positive here in the NFL for certain things that we cannot say. But Tyrann Mathieu is the next kind of big name player to test positive for said positive thing that we cannot discuss here without getting shut down. So, Mr. Torrey Anderson, I got to kick it to you first here. If Tyrann Mathieu cannot play week 1 for Kansas City, how big a loss is he for that defense?
Huge. It's a huge loss. That's the heart and soul, the leader of your defense out. Because is Frank Clark even being allowed to play yet?
So Frank Clark is not suspended, but he is injured, so he will not be eligible, or he will not play week 1.
Well, he'll be lucky if he ever gets to play again. But I digress on that one. But yeah, that's still the leader of your defense right there. That's the heart and soul of your defense this year. Because with the uncertainty of Frank Clark, that's a huge loss. That's basically your quarterback in the secondary that you have already lost now, and that's a huge loss for you. I don't care who you are. He's the guy that's going to be calling out coverages. He's going to be the guy that's going to be yelling run. Everything else. Him, the middle linebacker are your safeties and your middle linebackers are probably the 2 most important people because they see the whole play.
Right.
They call out your coverages. They call out your blocks, everything else. And losing your, I don't care who you are, losing your leader is going to hurt, and it's going to show up on your defense at some point.
Yeah, he is the emotional leader on that field. I mean, like, people can say like a lot of his play doesn't come out on the field because most of the time they're running the opposite way because he is so dominant at that strong safety position. So, Mr. Brandon BC Combs, how big a loss is Tyrann Mathieu for the Kansas City Chiefs defense if he cannot play week 1 failing his positive test?
I mean, it's a huge loss. Just like everything that Tori just said, that guy is going to be calling out plays for you. He's going to be doing the things that you want a leader to do on your defense, and it's just a huge loss, especially what you're only a week out from the game being played. So, I just Tyrann Mathieu will be a huge loss. Who are they playing week 1?
Ooh, that's a great question.
They've got a.
It's your team, Buck. You don't even know who they're
Yeah, I
playing in
know.
week
No,
1?
they're playing the Browns week 1.
Yeah,
So
so,
they're
that
0-1.
that makes it an even bigger loss.
Yes,
because
so they have the
Browns are
Browns
gonna be
week
very
1
good.
and then Ravens week 2. So, I mean,
Yeah,
they kind of have a gauntlet on the schedule. Yeah.
And so I can absolutely see in the Browns. So for a team that a lot of people, I've heard at least 3 experts say that they could pick the Chiefs to go 17-0 because they don't see a loss in their schedule. I think that's asinine. I see 2 losses in the first 2 weeks. So even with Tyrann Mathieu, I think that they might lose the first 2 games in the first 2 weeks. And people start talking about, oh, what's wrong with Kansas City? And then all of a sudden they're going to win 14 straight and go 14-2. That's just because that's what they do. They're a lot like the Patriots used to be with Tom Brady, where they're going to lose the first 3 games or first 2 games or go start out, 4-2, and the fans are going to lose their minds. Oh, what are we doing with these bums? And then all of a sudden they win the rest of their games and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, Tori, any more thoughts on that before we head to the next topic?
Nope, I'm good.
You are good. Alrighty, so guys, let me go ahead and push the right button here. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. So moving on to the next topic here. Sorry, I was trying to do some stuff and I was hoping Tori would stretch it out a little bit longer, but we are up against time, Tori.
Don't say. Do you have any final thoughts? Be like, ask me a question.
Yeah.
Buck,
Like,
how long?
what's my
how long
favorite
have we-
color?
How long have we known Tori now?
Too long to count, and we know that
Right.
we have to bait
And-
him into talking.
And I've talked to a couple of the girls that he's dated, and there is nothing about him that could ever stretch anything out. It always ends quick.
Last girl I was
Shush.
with said, "Who's gonna please with that?" I said, "Me."
Alrighty, guys. So getting back to sports talk here, no more Tori's love life because we know how short that is. Sorry, Tori. Too easy. Week 1 of the NFL
Like
season
Tori.
is
Tori-
quickly
Tori most of my
quickly
days.
approaching here, and Dak Prescott, Mr. Man of himself, ranked higher than Tom Brady to have a better season here in 2020-21, is planning to play on Week 1 since breaking his leg and dislocating his ankle in Week 5 of 2020. So Brandon BC Combs, _Combs, what do you expect from Dak this season?
What I've said all along, I expect that Dak having a full season with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they are going to own that division. I think they're going to run away with that division. I think he is going to have an MVP type season. I think it's going to make Zeke better. I think it's going to bring Zeke back to form. I think that it is going to do a lot of stuff for the Dallas Cowboys. And I know that CeeDee Lamb, which we learned before the show, is on IR. So that's going to be a little bit of a loss. But this team is really good. This Dallas Cowboys team, a lot of people sleep on them just because they're the Cowboys, and everybody likes to make fun of the Cowboys. I like making fun of the Cowboys.
Who doesn't,
You
right?
know, it's a lot of fun. Are you still them
Cowboys
boys?
fans.
But this is a good team. The Cowboys have a really good team. Their fans have something to be excited about. I could see them going 12-5 this year, and Dak being in the conversation for MVP along with Jameis Winston.
So, Tori, what kind of realistic expectations are you going to have for Dak Prescott going into Week 1?
Hopefully that he can stay healthy. Honestly, I'm a little concerned with the injury just because they didn't play him. I mean, they did the right thing. They did the smart thing. Sat him. Said, "Nope, we're just gonna let it heal. Let's go." The biggest thing Dak's got working against him is his head coach. So I am not as most people know, I am not a Mike McCarthy fan just because
I will agree
I'm
with
pretty-
that statement.
I'm pretty sure that most of us can watch a game and call what play they're going to do next, and we're just armchair quarterbacks.
Right.
That's how much he's changed the offense in the last 15 years. So it's McCarthy is not a good head coach. Everybody's talking about like Zeke and bounce back. No, there again, the first thing McCarthy will always say every single year, we need to run the ball more. We need to run the ball more. And at the first sign of trouble, he always abandons the run immediately.
Yeah, well,
That's his MO.
well, I mean, when people start to struggle in life, they always revert back to what they know. So when you've had quarterbacks like Mike McCarthy has, why not revert back to the past? He's had Brett Favre, he's had Aaron Rodgers. So revert back to what is great quarterback play. And that's exactly what Dak Prescott is. He is a great quarterback in the NFL going into this 2021 season. I believe ESPN had him having the 5th best season out of all quarterbacks, above Tom Brady, above Justin Herbert, above Carson Wentz, above a top 15 quarterback in the NFL, and Andy Dalton as alike as well. But one of the biggest things, guys, that we are overlooking is the Dak Prescott did not play the preseason, not because of his leg or his ankle. It's because he's been hampered by the shoulder injury. Like, he has been on a, quote, pitch count since he's he didn't tear anything, but he hurt his shoulder back in late July. And now it's a month after the fact, and he still hasn't thrown throwing the ball more than 15 yards downfield, and they are expecting him not to have a pitch count come week one or play a full game and be 100%. So Combs, realistically, let's say Dak Prescott is only 85% going into that Tampa Bay game, opening kickoff of the NFL season. Can the Dallas Cowboys compete with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Dak Prescott at just 85%?
No, but only because it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 85% of Dak Prescott's still better than some of the guys that are starting in this league. However, you're going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the best defenses in the league. Tom Brady led offense. Like, they're even 100% Dak Prescott. I don't think I'm picking them to win this game. So, you know, as much as I like the Cowboys, as much as I say they have a shot, I still think this will be a good game. But I would go with Tampa Bay in this one.
So Mr. Torrey Anderson at @manhour_Torrey, 85% Dak, and let's not forget minus CeeDee Lamb as well, because he is on the IR, so he's at least gone for at least 8 weeks. Realistically, chance for the Dallas Cowboys to compete with the Bucs?
No, not a chance. Not a team. A Super Bowl champion that returned all 22 starters. Good luck. In the second year of an offense that Tom Brady basically orchestrated last year, every single player is more comfortable this year.
And it's only 3 weeks this year, Buck.
Only going to be an IR 3 weeks, and it's
okay.
unlimited players you can bring back.
Okay, so basically what you guys are saying is that Bill Belichick put some players on the IRs because he knows how to work the system. Got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Still cheating in New England as I put that plug there for Wayne G there, because we do have Wayne G coming up here.
I saw him in the background perk up when you talked about the Patriots.
Yeah, we saw him perk up. So let me go ahead and bring him onto the screen here if I can get my mouse over there. So Wayne G, welcome to the show, man. We have, your segment here. That is debatable with Wayne G coming up here on the other side of the break. So before we head out of break, tell people what That's Debatable is all about.
So That's Debatable is a great opportunity to listen to me tell you some facts that not everyone agrees with, and we'll see if these guys agree with me. Most likely they won't. I already know the first one. Brandon is going to disagree, and we'll have healthy discord about some of these topics.
Oh, why are you going to use big words on a Thursday?
Well, they're only big words for small minds.
Yeah, you just don't understand healthy. That's all.
All right, guys, we are going to take a quick little break as River wants some cheese crackers here. We'll be right back here, guys, on the Man Hour.
Chug the bottle.
Man Hour Nation brought to you by Brooks Roofing and Siding. Contact them at 812-868-7663 or online at brooksroofingin.com. Brooks Roofing and Siding, protection you need when nature strikes.
And we are back, Man Hour Nation. It's your boy BC Brandon Combs. As you can see, it's just me. We left them nerds off the screen. We're not going to talk about anything else. We're going to talk about Bears football, Chicago Cubs base. I'm just joking. Let's welcome the guys back to the show. We got my man Tori. We've got Wayne G. It is time for That's Debatable, where Wayne comes up with some crazy crap. I tell him he's wrong. Tori agrees with one of us, and then we go our separate ways.
Wait, how did I become the moderator in this?
Because you're a waffle. That's what you do. You're just like Wyatt. You like to waffle. You don't stick to your opinions, and we beat you down.
Zach Wilson is trash.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I will
Exactly.
say the great thing about my topics is that I wholeheartedly believe them. I'm not a Stephen A. Smith just throwing hot takes to see if I can get some clicks.
You said Stephen A. Smith when you could have just said Michael Buckeye
I
Smith.
was going to say.
All right. So what's the first topic tonight, Wayne?
Well, before the first topic, can I just welcome you guys to the Belly Up Sports Network? Is that cool?
Yeah. Hey, man. Absolutely.
So obviously, I'm a part of the Belly Up Sports Network as well with Infinity Sports. You guys saw me over here like Steph Curry winning these championships, and like Kevin Durant, you said, "Hey, let's join that and get a ring ourselves."
What we said was, man, they're stuck with Infinity Sports. Maybe we should go help them out.
Guess we're going to head over.
No, so the first topic is a great one because I had posted it on several social media outlets and I'd gotten quite a bit of feedback about how people disagreed with this take, including Brandon. And I had said, well, I'm glad you find it debatable. So I'm going to throw it out there for you guys, which is the New England Patriots are going to win the AFC East this year. I have them going a floor record of 11-6. That's the worst they're going to do. They could actually do better than that. And I have my reasons, but I'll have you guys give me any reasons why you might think that might not happen.
Well, first of all, let's start off by I didn't think it was debatable because I think that's an asinine statement.
Is your word of the day asinine? That's like
Yes.
the 5th time you said it today.
Asinine. I looked
Today's
it up in the
episode brought to you by
dictionary.
Asinine.
I looked it up in the dictionary today. I was like, I'm using that.
That's the word of the day.
Yeah.
You're like
No,
Dennis
but
Rodman now.
It's
I learned
just
a new word from the dictionary.
It's a bad statement. Look, there is no way the New England Patriots are competing for this division. They're competing for third or second place with the Miami Dolphins. I'll agree with that statement. The Buffalo Bills aren't winning less than 13 games this year. That's not happening. The Buffalo Bills are the real deal. The Buffalo Bills are the cream of the crop of that division. Mac Jones is a nice piece. Mac Jones is a good quarterback. They're going to win more games than they would have with Cam Newton for sure. But they're still only a 8 or 9 win team. And looking at their schedule, I can just about squeeze out 8 wins. That's about where I will have them at when I do my predictions. I don't know where anybody can say that they're going to win the division. You can say, hey, they're going to be better than the Dolphins now, because that could possibly be true. Unless they trade for Deshaun Watson. In that case, you're just fighting with the Jets to see who's going to come in last place in the division, because Deshaun Watson instantly makes the Miami Dolphins a playoff and possible Super Bowl contender. So, no, I absolutely wholeheartedly disagree with that asinine statement.
How about you, Tori? What's your take on the New England Patriots this year?
With Mac Jones at the helm, the New England Patriots will win the AFC East in 2026. They don't have a chance for the next 5 years. Mac Jones is going to be a great quarterback. And as much as I hate to eat my words, because I said it for months that Zach and Mac are trash, and Mac Jones is making me eat my words, and
So is Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson will not.
Well, here's my take behind this. Is like I said, all my takes are legit. They're not hot takes. And
Oh
do
wait,
have
I wasn't
reasons
done
behind them.
yet.
Oh, please continue. You'd stop talking for a few minutes. I didn't realize it took
He
you that
does
long to
that.
think what you wanted to say.
Because he's slow, so he's just got to gather his thoughts.
I got hit in the head a lot.
Yeah.
So I know, and I already know what Wayne G's going to say. They were missing most of the defense. They opted out for COVID. They did this. They did that.
Oh,
However,
said the magic word.
what? Opted
I'm not
out?
going to repeat it. The 19, the thing going around.
Ooh, I did. We're gonna
Where
get
we
shut
booted
down.
out. Yeah.
Uh-oh. So then because of that, I agree. Their defense is going to be phenomenal, but you still have a rookie quarterback that's going to make mistakes. He is not going to be phenomenal every week. He's not going to have to be phenomenal some weeks, and they will still win games. But I will agree with Brandon on this point. There are 8, probably a 9-win team, in my opinion. They're probably the third best team in that division right now, and they need a couple of years to get to where they can try to overtake the Bills.
So what I was going to say here is that, like you said, they had a top 10 defense last year, missing all those people. They do get back Dante Hightower, who's the captain of the defense. They did go out and get Jalen Mills, Matthew Judon. They got Sean Wade in that trade, which is humongous. People don't realize how big a deal that is. Sean Wade was going to be Jeffrey Okuda. That's what they were saying about him when he was a junior. Then he found out, he can't cover anybody on the outside. But that's fine, because in the slot, he's Jeffrey Okuda. So, and that's what the Patriots need. They've got J.C. Jackson. They've got Jonathan Jones. They've got Stephon Gilmore, who's starting off on the PUP list. But that's all they needed there. They get Kyle Van Noy. They get 2 guys to stuff the run. They get Christian Barmore. Then on the offensive side of things, they draft Ramondre Stevenson, who's so good at pounding the ball that they were able to just trade Sony Michel for nothing. They've got Damian Harris, who averaged 5 yards a carry last year. They picked up a wide receiver who's a burner. Jacoby Myers actually might run routes and catch the ball just as good as Stephon Diggs. He's not as athletic, but he can catch and he can run clean routes. They've got 2 sensational tight ends. So and their offensive line might be the deepest offensive line in all of the NFL. So what we're saying is, with a top-rated defense and all these weapons and all these great things, the reason they're going to have a losing record is because their quarterback only completes 80% of his passes.
I will put money on
quarterback. So you're going to have rookie quarterback growing pains for one. He's going to make some mistakes. I mean, that's just look. I don't care if you're coached by Bill Belichick. I don't care if you're coached by anybody. He's going to have mistakes, and those mistakes are going to cost you here and there. So I get what you're saying about the defense. I think I don't think it's going to be the best defense in the league like you do. But I do think that there'll probably be a top 10 defense. I think that they are going to be a solid team because with Cam Newton, I only had them at 5, maybe 6 wins. So I just jumped, 3 or 4 games by going with Mac Jones. Mac Jones doesn't jump him up that much higher. It's not in his first year. He doesn't. So I'm going to agree to disagree with you here, like always. Not even a kind of way, Wayne. This is a no way. There is no chance that the New England Patriots win the AFC East.
Well, it's funny that you would say that Mac Jones, you guys both keep saying, well, he's a rookie quarterback. He's a rookie quarterback. He's got to take his rookie lumps. He's got these rookie things. And yet you're talking about Chicago, who has fewer offensive weapons and a worse defense than New England, and how a rookie quarterback could get them to the playoffs.
With Justin Fields, I still think they're only a 7-win team. What are you saying? I just think if you're only going to win 7 games anyway, you might as well start your rookie quarterback and see what you got.
Well,
I don't have them going to the playoffs at all this year. Not with that.
I have the Patriots at 11-6, so book it 11-6 or better. That's the line for the Patriots.
You ought to get in on our wheel of death with that prediction. If they go worse than 11-6, will you spin our wheel of death and take one of our punishments?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
Deal.
Now, if they do go 11-6, do you guys have to spin the wheel of death?
I would say,
yeah,
because I don't believe that. I will take a separate punishment.
How about this? If they go 11-6, I'll spin the wheel twice.
All right. Cool. So, all right, let's jump into the next one here. This is kind of sticking with not so much football, but let's talk about the NCAA. We saw Quinn Ewers goes to Ohio State. He's not even going to be the starter this year, and he's already got a $1.3 million endorsement deal because of the NIL thing. We also saw that earlier in the year, the NCAA said, well, guys can transfer now and they don't have to sit out a year. So they can just basically be LeBron James free agents if they don't like the situation they're in. Can we finally just stop calling the NCAA anything scholastic? It is time for the NCAA to stop sending kids to class. No more grade point average, no more attending classes. All you got to do is play sports. It's semi-pro football, semi-pro basketball now.
Tori, go ahead.
Okay. I would agree with that. I am in complete agreement with that because they make how many hundreds of millions of dollars for their university. Why send them to class? You know, the big argument, well, they give them an education and they give them a place to sleep, but they can't have any spending money. So that argument is gone. With the NIL, these kids can make money. They don't have to live on campus. Why should you make them go to class? Guess what? If they go to class, all you're doing is taking away from their time that they could be training for the next football game. You may as well go all in. Otherwise, somebody else is going to figure out how to take advantage of the NIL and all of a sudden make the NCAA football programs irrelevant, much like the G League is going to do to the NBA here in the next couple of years.
Again, you clowns are asinine. How in the world are you going to say, oh, no, these kids, look, yes, these kids can make money finally. And I've been arguing for that for a long time now. These kids should have been making money a long time ago. The rules that the NCAA had against them making money, against them accepting gifts was just stupid. And some would say it was asinine. So, but to say that they shouldn't be getting an education or they shouldn't be forced to go to class or they should no. What? So let me ask you a question. What happens if you go into the league and you become RG3? You're a great college player. You got all these high hopes in the NFL, and then you blow your knee out. And all of a sudden, nobody wants you anymore. Teddy Bridgewater, you blow your knee out, and now you're just a journeyman in the league. Or even worse, what if you become one of those guys who gets injured your freshman year of college, your second year of college, your third year of college, I don't care if it's your senior year of college, and you don't get to go play in the NFL. You have to fall back on your college degree. What if you're Ryan Leaf? What if you have no choice? What are you going to do?
Because now they can pay for their schooling with their NIL stuff.
It's a stupid to sit there and say that these kids don't need to go get an education, don't need to go to class, don't need to still. Yes, it's a dumb argument. They're getting paid now. Go to class.
The reason it's not a dumb argument, here's the thing, is that I'm tired of people pretending they actually give a crap about these kids and what kind of education they get. You don't care, Brandon. Tori doesn't care. I don't care.
Absolutely.
If you cared, then you would.
I absolutely care that these kids, they absolutely should get an education. Every single one of them. Look at who's a guy in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick's a freaking Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
Why can't you get an education and be an athlete? I absolutely care because I don't want to see any of these kids that go and play college sports and then all of a sudden I'm driving to Home Depot and they're out on the lawn looking for change. No, I want them to get an education. I want them to be able to support themselves in case they don't make it in the league. There's a small percentage of these college athletes that actually make it pro. A very small percentage.
Why don't you care? Why don't you care about the guy asking for loose change at Home Depot right now that he doesn't have a free education?
I do care. What are you talking about? I donate all the time.
As a matter universal of fact, free education.
Today and offered one of them a job today.
Yeah. Universal free education for everybody.
Absolutely, 110%.
Oh, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Why?
Why?
They do it in other countries. Why can't we do it here?
Because it just costs too much money, and like I said, it just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't.
You have the athletic departments to cover that, then, no, because they make hundreds of millions of dollars. How do you think most universities make most of their money off of their athletic department versus people paying tuition?
Right. Yeah. If Ewers never gets a degree, if he has 12 credits when he goes to the NFL and all 12 of those credits are in swimming pool management, is Ohio State going to feel like a failure? They won't give a crap. None of these schools give a crap. So why pretend like they give a crap?
But if you're making $100 million off of your football program, why are you charging people tuition? You're making plenty of money as a school. You're making plenty of money to pay for these other kids who aren't athletes to go to school and get an education, to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, to become a police officer, to become all this other stuff. why can't you pay for educations? That's the one thing. And as much as I'm a LeBron James, I'm not a LeBron James guy. I'm a LeBron James hater on the court. Off the court, this man pays for educations. This man does things to better our youth. So no, absolutely, you guys are well, not you guys. Wayne, you're 100% wrong when you say that these people shouldn't go and get a free education, and that it would cost too much money. Hundreds of millions of dollars are in college football.
And let's clear it. I'm not saying take away their education. I'm saying if they want to go to school, they can. Let's just not make it mandatory. Why are we making it mandatory?
That's what, and I agree with that. Like, it shouldn't be mandatory at them because the university does me. So that kid's going to get his money, and the university's still going to get theirs. Because now I look at last year when COVID happened. I remember when Barry Alvarez came out and said, "Well, with the football season, us not having fans, we're going to lose $100 million for the university this year because the football team's not going to be able to have fans in the stadium."
So
$100 million.
So instead of college football, why don't you start a semi-pro minor league for the NFL, and those who want to go play in that instead of go to class, go play in that, and those that want to go to school,
That's
That's what it is already. That's what it is already.
Those that want to go to school can still go and play college football too.
So Ed McCaffrey's actually trying to do that. Basically, start a league saying instead of going to school, come play in this league and make money until you can go to the NFL.
And if it's successful, the NCAA will counter that by not making college mandatory.
Yes.
I got one word. Asinine.
Asinine.
Okay. Well, Brandon, you should have to go to college, and you shouldn't have a say in it.
I did go to college.
All right,
Don't sound you.
well, I did not, and I'm not going. Try to make me.
I am a proud college dropout.
That's right. I got 9 credits. What do you think about that?
I think you got about 6 more than me.
So this one kind of sticks with the whole college theme, right? And this one was actually presented by Drew. So shout out to Drew for throwing this one at me last week. I didn't bring it up last week. It's still kind of early in the season for this. This is the kind of statement that stupid people make at the end of the football season, which is when they say, well, the best college football team could beat the worst pro football team, or the best college basketball team could beat the worst pro basketball team. And I have stated this, and listen, anybody out there who thinks this, stop being an idiot. I'm forcing you to go to college to learn, because the reality is the best college team that has ever played in the history of all college sports would lose by 50 to the worst NFL team that has ever played in the NFL.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say that we probably shouldn't be throwing it out there. Oh, I didn't go to college, when we just had to work 8-hour days, and now we're on YouTube for free trying to make it and do something with our lives. It's probably not the best argument for don't get an education, kids. So, but no, look, I agree with you. Finally, I agree with
stay
you
in
on
school.
something, Wayne. I agree with you. It's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. There is no way that you could take any college team ever in the history of man against even the 0-16 Lions, the 5 straight years of like 1-15 Browns, any of the Jets teams over the last 80 years. There is no way that any of those college teams are competing on that level. It's just not happening.
This statement is already false because a group of college all-stars already did beat an NFL team way back in the day.
Is back in 1938 a team of college all-stars, but we're not talking about 1938, and we're not talking about all-stars. I'm saying you take that Alabama team that we just had that had whatever 20 first-round picks or whatever it was, and you put them up against the 0-16 Lions or the 0-16 Browns, they get absolutely thumped. I mean, destroyed.
Oh yeah. The thing is the game speed. You know, you hear about the game speed and the difference between college and the NFL, and it's 100% a legitimate thing. And yeah, Alabama might put up a little bit of a fight for maybe a quarter. They make the adjustments, and then they just get throttled after that. They would just get absolutely destroyed, just because even that 0-16 Bears team, that defense actually wasn't terrible. Or the 0-16 Lions team, excuse me.
this is the only real argument you need. Listen, so if any of your friends out there who have master's degrees, propose this scenario, which is ridiculous. I always ask people, I say, how many professional football players are on the Alabama football team? And I'm saying if they could all turn pro today, freshmen too, they can all turn pro today. How many of those guys make the NFL? 23, 24. You know how many are on the worst team in the NFL? 53 plus a practice squad. You're outgunned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. For once, it doesn't happen often, but I absolutely agree with you.
Unless it's a Zach Wilson led Jets team, then give me Bama, because Zach Wilson is trash.
So the last one I have here for you guys, it's a golf one. I know it's not a huge sport, but I did want to bring up.
I love
golf as well. So Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka, they've been having this beef going on now for a couple of years, and it's getting more and more intense. They've decided that they're going to put that beef on hold so that they can play on Team USA in the Ryder Cup. And I want to ask you guys, I think that this beef is good for golf, especially with no Tiger Woods. We've seen a huge drop off in numbers when Tiger Woods got hurt. He's not playing in these tournaments now. You need something to bring people in, and there is no generational talent like him. So why not have a feud bring people in?
Yeah, I don't know how, like, part of me, and I've said this a couple times with this beef that they have, is that I think part of it is they maybe started joking around with one another, and then maybe they didn't like each other for something, but then they just kept it going because Twitter got them hot. Twitter made their names known, and it was good for the sport. And so I don't know if the beef is real, but I do like reading it all the time. I like watching these guys on the golf course. They're both absolutely phenomenal golfers. They're at the top of their game right now. Watching them two on the US team, I mean, it would have been so much better if they were on opposite teams. If they were just on opposite teams, but they were on the same hole or something. Like, I would love to see, like, Koepka try to talk in his backswing, or in DeChambeau's backswing or something, or like come out with an air horn and do something stupid in his
Happy
backswing.
Gilmore.
Like, yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. But no,
Yeah, jackass.
these guys are phenomenal at what they do, and I love watching them on the golf course Thursdays through Sundays every week. So I love the beef. I absolutely do.
Yeah, this reminds me of the lull. Like, I don't know how many of you were wrestling fans. This reminds me of the ushering in of the Attitude Era in the 90s of like WWE and WCW. Like, it reminds me of that little war, because you had your
takeover.
Yeah, you had like, your Rory McIlroys, your Dustin Johnsons, and they were all like, buddy, hey, how's it going, buddy? How's it going, friend? Like, everybody got along. I agree. This is good for the sport. Anything like that. You had Tiger who dominated for so long, and then, everybody tried to make a rivalry out of him and Sergio, but Sergio obviously never really amounted to what everybody thought he was going to be. And it ended up basically more a Tiger versus Phil thing, and that was phenomenal for golf. Those two were competitors. They probably didn't get along real well then. They get along a lot better now because they're both old, and I say like that, like they're old at the same age. Well, Tiger's the same age as me, but yeah, no, this is good. It's good for the sport. It's good to get to the younger people into it. Again, we all know everything is social media driven these days. So any kind of thing that they can drum up, I'm like, probably secretly, these guys are probably in like a tent somewhere. Like, is this great that we got everybody thinking we're beefing? They're cheering beers and slamming them.
I don't think so. I think it's legit. They don't like each other. And but I will say this. Brandon mentioned that he would love to see the Ryder Cup and see those two guys play against each other. Well, more riveting TV. Those two playing against each other are having to be teammates in the alternate shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be must-see TV. I'm definitely going to be watching. I know I wanted to throw this one at you. Rory McIlroy is the most disappointing golfer in the last 50 years.
No,
He was
I would say
supposed to be the next Tiger Woods.
No, so was Sergio, but Sergio's been more disappointing than Rory.
Yeah, I would say Sergio. If anybody, it's Sergio. Like, Sergio, all Sergio did was cry because Tiger was on TV all the time and be like, why is nobody watching my game? Well, Sergio, because you're 15 shots off the lead. That's why.
Yeah, but even Rory, when Rory was coming up, Rory was a lot like Tiger. When Rory started playing, Tiger was out, and Rory was must-see golf. Like, he was the guy everybody tuned into to see, and then he just fell off the map. Like, he just disappeared.
I mean, he's still a top 10 player in the world, and I mean, he won the Masters. No, did he win the Masters? No, he won the British, right? Sergio's won the Masters. But yeah, so the whole thing with Sergio though is that Sergio was supposed to be the guy to challenge Tiger Woods, right? He was like and he didn't even come close. He didn't even come in the same realm. I mean, it's so disappointing. Rory, at least he's still a decent player. He's going to be on the Ryder Cup team. You know, Sergio didn't even make the Ryder Cup team for some of those European teams.
Yeah,
he's old enough to be the captain, isn't he?
Probably. I'm surprised Tiger's not the captain of the Team USA there.
Right. Threw on the chat and says the Road Warriors, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter. All of a sudden we're talking WWE.
Yeah, that's the 80s. That was the stuff prior to the Attitude Era, which really put professional wrestling into the stratosphere that it went into with, like, you know, the original divas and all that. Like Triple H and Stone Cold and Degeneration X and all that stuff made wrestling what it is today. And in the WCW, you had the NWO that kind of made it all.
I just remember the ice cream bars off the ice cream truck with the wrestlers on them. Those are the best ice cream bars ever. All right.
I remember Ultimate Warrior. I was a big Ultimate Warrior fan.
Yeah, I was an Ultimate Warrior fan too. I hated
what little trivia for you then, Wayne. What was the Ultimate Warrior's wrestling name when he was in the WCCW?
Well, I know my friend Steve said he saw him early on and he was called the Dingo Warrior.
Correct. The Dingo Warrior was his name. That was when the WCCW was ran by the Von Erichs, which is like the most most unlucky wrestling family ever. I think like 3 of the 4 kids ended up dying.
All right, Wayne, we're up against a break. Why don't you go ahead and tell the people where they can catch you on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Infinity Sports. You can check us out anywhere that you find podcasts. It doesn't matter where. Infinity Sports. And also on the Belly Up Sports Network, which Man Hour is now part of. I'm a big blogger. I try to write about 3 to 4 blogs per month. So you guys can check out some of my writing, which is actually better than my podcast, believe it or not.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
You are a pretty good writer. You've been doing a great job with some of the solo shows that you've been doing. I've been catching a couple of those. So you keep doing what you're doing, man. We love having you here with these debate topics because, you know, I love kicking your ass in those every week.
Well, let's suck going 0-4 today then.
I agree with you on 2 of them. How'd I go on 4?
He agreed with you on a couple, Wayne.
3-1.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Buck will be back. His stuttering nonsense will be back. And we will get into some more hot sports talk when we get back.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson tonight. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on youtube.com/Man Hour. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, the bell icon, as we do upload clips each and every day there at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. every Sunday through Thursday. And on Fridays, we add the 8 o'clock hour in there as well. Saturdays, we add the 8 o'clock hour in there as well. So 5 to 6 clips are uploaded each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are also giving away a trip to Vegas. How do you get entered into that trip to Vegas, you ask? You simply head over to youtube.com/Man Hour, hit that join button, and for $5.99 a month, that membership, the gold membership, you get to be a part of the Man Hour Nation, like obviously, but then you also get a free entry into the Vegas trip. We will pay for your flight and hotel during the NFL 2022 NFL Draft. And if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like button and hit this share button as well. Share us with a couple friends, as Joey did earlier tonight. Joey hit that like button and shares with a couple friends as well. So big shout out to Joey thank you for doing that. So let's go ahead and welcome everybody back onto the screen here. So guys, you guys had a great segment with Wayne G. Wayne G always brings the heat here on Thursday nights on the Man Hour with That's Debatable from Infinity Sports. But it is time to get into one of our newest segments here, and it is coming out with Combs. So Combs, go ahead and let us know what this segment is all about.
So this is just, me getting to rant about something that I feel about ranting. And tonight happens to be ticket prices in sports. Because earlier in the season, when the Cubs were winning and the Cubs were good, I got tickets and I was sitting first level, but I was, back a ways, probably about, I'd say about 80 rows back or so. It was about $90 a ticket. So I hopped on yesterday and I was like, hey, you know what? I think I want to go to a Cubs game in September. I promised my mom I'd take her to a game this year. So I was like, all right, let me see what tickets are. First row behind home plate. I can sit front row, be on TV all night, behind home plate, best seats in the house. How much do you think those tickets were, guys?
At least $100.
28, 25.
$80 a piece. I could sit behind home plate in the first row for less than what I sat 90 rows back. Where is it? Look, this just goes to show that teams could lower their ticket prices. Teams could still make money by lowering their ticket prices. They take advantage of their fans when they're winning. They just do. They bump up the prices because you're going to want to go and see them. It's going to be a hot ticket. But when they're not good, whatever. We'll give them away. We'll let the people be happy. The people that can't afford to normally sit here, we'll let them be happy for a couple months. And then we'll jack up the prices again next year when we plan to try to be good again. What a joke. And it's not just, I look at like NFL tickets, preseason tickets. A preseason ticket to the Chicago Bears game this season. What do you think it was for the last row in the stadium?
Preseason?
The last row all the way upper deck preseason.
Probably like $10.
$240 a piece.
For a preseason game?
For a preseason game.
I'm going to Monday Night Packer game less
I
than
was
that.
just say for less than that.
$240 a ticket is what it was going for. And that wasn't even the scalping price. That's not even StubHub. That's none of these other places, which, I probably just said the name. They need to give us a cut now for that. Just give them some free publicity. But these are the ticket prices that get drawn up, and it's because it was Justin Fields' first game. So they, if you want to come see Justin Fields, you're going to pay the price and blah, blah, blah. It's just stupid. They can make money and still lower their prices. They just choose not to. So that's coming out with Combs tonight. What do you guys have to say?
Well, I totally agree with you on the ticket prices. Obviously it's Combs. It's called supply and demand. Don't you learn that when you were in college? Because I heard you guys talking about college with Wayne G. Didn't you learn about supply and demand?
Yeah, I know about supply and demand.
Yeah,
I know.
so
I'm a freaking manager for my company. I know all about supply and demand. I have to
Yes.
deal with stupid customers all day long.
So
If
what
any
you're
of you guys
s-
are watching, you're
so
not the stupid one.
what you're saying is when the supply is down, I should lower my price so the demand goes up, right? When the demand is up, I need it low.
Why should
higher.
your price? No. If your price stayed the same across the board, and I say this all the time, but people don't listen to me. If your price stayed the same across the board, you would sell more product.
Yeah, but
That's just a fact.
But that's what the NFL does. The NFL sets their ticket prices prior to the season.
The teams control their ticket prices.
well, the NFL sets the baseline prices, and then the
Yeah.
tickets add their and the teams add their
Yeah.
cut on top. But see Combs, but that is the difference between real life and like stadium life. Is like I only have 50,000 seats, so I know I'm going to sell out this stadium. I'm sorry, I digress. Bear fans only sell out stadiums when you guys are good, aka 8-8.
No, that
so
is not true.
So let's go to
Every
Arrowhead.
NFL team
Arrowhead
shuts-
sells out every game, no matter how good or how bad the Kansas City Chiefs are. And obviously, when the team is good, you know you can get more money. So why not profit off that money? Just because you know in 5, 6 years we're going to be 2-14 again, and we can't give away the tickets. So I mean, it's very, very smart to do that. Like honestly, I mean that's smart business because people want the tickets, so raise the prices so it makes them harder for them to get it.
No, what they do is they put the prices up because corporate sponsors start getting involved, and corporate sponsors can afford to pay more money for those tickets. And corporate sponsors are using those seats. Half of the people that sit in the good seats in sports stadiums aren't even there to watch the game. They're there to sell something to somebody.
So what you're saying is supply and demand. So therefore, if I'm able to make more money off of it, right?
It's still stupid.
Tori,
care
what
what
are your
you
thoughts
say.
on it? Speak some logic.
It might be good business, but it's stupid.
You were just mad because your Cubs suck.
No, I'm mad because I'm
See,
a
now-
fan, and it costs me $90 a ticket to sit further back when
baseball.
it could have cost me $80 to sit behind home plate.
See, but for me, it's a problem unique to baseball because corporate sponsors don't go sit in the regular seats at a football game. They have luxury boxes. They sit in the suites. They're not going to be. They don't want to be out with
Not at
regular
Super
people.
Bowl. Look at the Super Bowl, though. Super Bowl. The only
Super Bowl's-
real fans
Super
that
Bowl's-
get a ticket have to sit in the upper deck because the first deck
Right.
is literally reserved for corporate sponsors.
And
Which
it's
way it should be.
like $1,500 a ticket to sit
Yeah.
in that very last row.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying it's a problem unique because baseball has that where you want to be outside. You usually sit around with the fans because you want to be close to the action. Where football, they want to be safe, secure, have somebody bringing them their food and their drinks. That same thing in the NBA, same thing in the NHL. Where baseball though is just still got that we want to be around the people, and they will jack up the prices immensely. And I will say, we're seeing it now here with the Milwaukee Bucks. I can tell
Football's
you right
better on
now,
TV anyway, though.
6 years ago, I could have went to a Milwaukee Bucks game for about $15 and sat dang near courtside.
Yeah.
And now they're talking for the home opener this year in Milwaukee. It's like $340 for a ticket.
Yeah. Well, because they're gonna
It-
raise the banner. It's a ceremony, and it's the first one ever. It's funny. We were just talking
Second-
about
second one.
WWE, and the Big Show is putting on the jersey to sing "I'll Take Me to the Ball Game" in Chicago. Sorry, side note. got sidetracked there. But no, it is like football's better on TV anyway. But when you're looking at like high demand tickets, like Cubs World Series tickets were absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it was like $3,000 a seat. It was absolutely insane to get inside of Wrigley Field, and I mean those were upper deck seats. The good seats were way more than that. And when you get into those premier games, the prices always go up, but it's supply and demand. People who have season tickets, they take advantage of that, so they start selling their seats at a higher premium because they want to make their money back plus some. Most of them are getting 5-6 times face value when they get into big games. But I don't like the I just don't like it when it's coming from the teams themselves. When it's coming from the ticket prices, from the box office, that's when I have a problem with it. The fans making money on it is different because if you're willing to pay that price to go to a game, more power to you.
So
I wish I had that
hang
much
on,
money to spend.
hang on. So you are saying it's okay to break the law and scalp tickets?
It's not scalping. StubHub is not scalping. It's legal.
It's called fees.
Yeah.
It's called
Nobody-
additional fees.
Nobody scalps anymore.
I
You
scalp
can
some
go to a
tickets.
game. Nobody's walking around anymore saying, "Anybody need tickets? Anybody need tickets?" I don't see that anywhere anymore.
It happens in Louisville like all the time. Maybe just because we're poor here.
To go where?
Well,
Where do you go in Louisville?
the
that you need
Louisville
tickets?
Cardinal game.
No, so the Yum Center has like concerts like all the time. So like, hey, anybody need tickets to the
Really?
Garth Brooks concert or the Nine Inch Nails concert? Yada yada yada. Yeah, it's actually really overwhelming. Like you walk up there and there's like at least 15 guys. Hey, you want tickets?
Well, because there's some of them that will track the change of prices and notify you when a ticket drops and stuff like that. Which my buddy Chris, that's how we went to the Bucks playoff game the one time, and I actually texted him today because I have been to an NFL playoff game, I've been to an NBA playoff game, I have been to an NHL playoff game. I have never been to a Major League Baseball playoff game. That is my goal this year, is to go
That
see
needs
the
to
Brewers in the
change this
playoffs.
year.
Yep,
You and I are going to a Brewers playoff game. I'll go to a Brewers playoff game.
So that will complete my seeing every major sport in.
I've never
In the
been to a
United States.
playoff game live in any sporting event.
That's because the Bears don't ever make the playoffs. So
I would go to any team's play. Look, I'm just a sports fan. I'll go to any team's game at any time.
So
It's
I
a-
would love to go. I'm going to go to a White Sox playoff game this year. That's for sure.
so my hockey playoff game, because I'm a Blackhawks fan, was the very first ever home playoff game for the Minnesota Wild against Colorado Avalanche.
That's a good one.
all right,
And
so,
I was that guy who wore my Blackhawks jersey.
all right, guys. So let's go ahead and open up to Shop Talk here. So, guys, if you're watching us here on YouTube.com/Man Hour, let us know if you have any questions whatsoever relative to sports or like whatnot here. But the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mike LeBlanc, comes up in the comments here and he says, "Bro, the Gophers are going to stun the Buckeyes as a question mark." So, guys, do you think the Minnesota Gophers are going to beat the Ohio State Buckeyes right now? I don't have the
know.
score in
I
front of me.
I'm looking right now because that would be huge. And as much as I hate the Ohio State Buckeyes, I hate Minnesota more.
They're up 14-10. It's only the second quarter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm. You're getting your hopes up a little high at that point.
Yeah,
At this
hey,
point, those guys are still waking up from their nap.
Bigger
Yeah.
question. Is our boy Zen dressed for tonight?
I don't know. So I will text Zen tomorrow and see if he's redshirted or be. So the good thing about college football is you can play up to 12
3.
quarters. I think it is.
Yeah, because 3 full games.
Yeah. So you can play up to 12 quarters before they can redshirt you, or before you can play the season, or they can redshirt you. So I don't know if he is dressed or not. But a huge shout out to Javier for dropping a $4.99 super chat, man. Thank you for that 100%, man. We definitely appreciate all the love.
Absolutely.
And Javier, man, has definitely become a part of Man Hour Nation 100% here. So we do got a caller coming in here, guys. So let's go ahead and welcome the caller graciously to Man Hour Nation. Caller, what is your name?
Y'all know me. It's your favorite Tim Tebow fan.
Hey, Joey. How's it going tonight, bud?
Well, it's been a crazy day. Some Navy dude tried to recruit me at my high school. Yeah.
Hey, man, that's not crazy. Ain't nothing
It
wrong
is
with
a
the Navy.
bit crazy. I don't feel like going into a ship.
But hey,
All right.
I mean, like,
Hey, what's your
honestly, the
question?
military has, shaped Combs and Tory's lives like for the better, I think. I mean, they definitely
For
wouldn't
sure.
be here. So
100%, man.
and they pay for school and everything else. Man, there's definitely positives.
Are you working with him? Are
No.
you working with him, Buck? I know you are.
I'm not working with him
You
at all.
are? Stop
but-
lying.
But I am telling you from experience of going through high school and having to pay back my student debt right now, which is like $115,000. I would have loved a military bill to pay for my school. I'm just throwing it out there. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be on no ship, no like Iraqi desert. Or
you don't have to
whatever. I
join the
don't want
Navy.
any
You
of
can
that.
join the Army or the Air Force. Like,
Tell
you're-
them you don't want to be on any of that. Join the Coast Guard, you puddle pirate.
there you go. Hey, actually, what is the one that Trump just started? The Space
Space
Force.
Force.
There you go.
Space
I
Space
joined
Force.
Space Force. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So hey, do you got a question for us?
Oh, I had a bet for Combs.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you're talking about all this big stuff about the Bears. If the Bears make the playoffs this year, don't matter. It can be wild card. Don't matter. If it makes them this year, I had to say the Bears are the best 1,000 times on video. But if they don't, you got to say it's pretty stupid bet. You got to say the Packers are the best 1,000 times.
Well, but to see, Joey, you've got to listen to my whole statement. I said even if Justin Fields is their starting quarterback, they're still only a 7 or 8 win team. I don't think that they're making the playoffs. I don't think that the Bears are going to the playoffs at all, no matter who their quarterback is. I think Justin Fields is going to be very good, but I don't think that they're going to the playoffs. So, as much as I'm not afraid to take a bet, if you wanted to bet me that the Bears win less than 8 games or 7 games, I'd go with that bet. But I'm not going playoffs.
Yeah, we say that.
Okay.
All
So
right,
7 or
you
8
wanna go
games,
7 or
Combs.
8? Let's go
7.5.
7. If they win 7, you've got to what did you want to do? Say 1,000 times on the air the Bears are the best? How about you
Bears
just
are the
spin our
best
wheel of
1,000
death?
times.
How about you spin our wheel of death?
Yeah.
If the Bears win 7 more games, and if not, then I'll spin the wheel of death.
Well, hold up. You don't have faith in your team? You don't have faith in going to the playoffs this year?
It's not about faith. It's about being realistic, Joey.
Yep.
Like look, I'm a fan. Like I love
I'm
my
not
guys. I love
realistic,
my
but
team. But the Packers,
still
are the
back it
cream of the
up.
crop in that. Yeah, but the Bears are the cream, or the Packers are the cream of the crop of that division this year. They're going to be the best team in that division. The Bears are only that's a tough schedule for a team that's not very good all the way around.
Right.
So there's no way I would put them, in the playoffs at all this year, because that schedule, if you take a look at that schedule, it's a gauntlet, an absolute gauntlet.
So Joey, you are on board with spinning the wheel of death here?
Yes.
Okay, so just so
Okay.
we're clear here, you have to record it and tag the Man Hour on TikTok, okay?
Okay. I don't think it will allow me to do it for that long. There's a 3-minute option. I don't think I can say that 1,000 times in 3 minutes.
Well, no.
You got to spin the wheel of death
Yeah,
and do one of our punishments.
Yeah, so some of the punishments that we have on the wheel of death, there's drinking the bottle of syrup like Tori did the other night. We are going to eat some peanut butter and sing a song, right? I mean, like it is a bunch of fun
Or
stuff.
do a show while do a segment while putting a marshmallow in your mouth every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's another one that we've got. So
Which is I can actually do that one because marshmallows actually don't have that much sugar in them.
yeah, we can get you
You're
some
going to kill
sugar-free
me. What are
marshmallows
you
too.
talking about?
Yeah, like I mean, just so we're clear, there is no shaving of heads or legs or faces except for Wyatt. So
Except for Wyatt.
Well,
Yeah.
I still have that
Wyatt's
bet
the only
with
one.
I still have that bet with Combs. Tebow still plays half the season. You don't know. He could get signed. Could get signed.
so
All right, Joe.
hang on one second. You think Tim
I drafted
Tebow's
him
going to
to
get
my
picked up by an
fantasy
NFL team?
What?
You think Tim Tebow's going to get picked up by a NFL team?
No, he'll get picked up by some Canadian football league team or
Hold on.
indoor football.
You said half of
missed
the
the joke,
NFL
Bob.
season though, not a half of it.
Yeah,
Arena
but
football season.
I don't believe in Tebow anymore. I mean,
Did
Wow.
you get your money back
Hey,
for your
you
Tebow
got
jersey
it.
yet?
He's got
Fantasy
a
football
career
team?
in boxing. Jake Paul challenged him to a boxing match.
What?
Like, have you
Paul
seen Tebow?
challenges
He's
everybody
ripped.
because he's a clown. That's
So,
why he doesn't
I-
challenge anybody to crawl in the octagon. He challenges them to a boxing match.
Zen's probably redshirted because I don't even see him listed on the depth chart right now.
Okay. Yeah, he's number 65. So yeah. All right, Joey.
All right.
Thanks for the call. We will write down your bet. So it is 7 games, Combs. Like the Bears have to
7
win
games.
7 games.
They win less than 7 games, I spin the wheel of death. If they win 7 or more, Joey spins it.
All right.
Deal? Air
Deal.
air handshake there.
Yeah.
All right, Joey. We have wrote that down. We got you. All right, man. Have a good night.
Oh, I'm signing my life away.
What?
I'm signing my life away.
so mean like honestly, so we're talking about Ohio State and our man Zen, which is he's been on the show many times, and we need to get him back on. I mean, honestly, this is the best for him is redshirting this year a lot. I think. But to be honest, I saw him in person. What, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, guys. He is a NFL-sized offensive lineman right now.
He's gonna look great in a Bears uni.
Combs, I guarantee you, if he keeps this work ethic up the way he is right now, hitting the gym and eating and doing everything right, he might be a top 10 pick. I'm being dead serious. And this is just not me being friend's boy and his coach, et cetera, right? Zen is a fucking beast right now.
I like it.
Yeah.
And he look, man, he was a beast prior to that. So
right.
The guy is massive. He's got a great future ahead of him. I see right now he's listed as 6'9", 295 on the Ohio State roster.
Do you know what he was his senior year of high school? Starting off the year?
No.
240.
Jesus.
So he's putting at 50 pounds in 9 months.
Well, and they probably got him. They probably got him on a 6,000 calorie a day diet.
Yeah.
So on the roster, he's listed as active, and under his status.
Well, because I correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember my redshirt status really taking effect until week 4. So, you are active, but you may not dress or be on the depth chart or anything. But
yeah, because any depth chart I looked at, he wasn't even listed as third string.
Yeah, but he was working with the second and third strings during camp. So he could be right there on the bubble. If a blowout happens in the next week or 2, we could see him out there. I don't know. It would be awesome to see, a kid that we know out there.
I'm rooting for him, even though he's playing for Ohio State. I'm still rooting for Zen.
Yeah.
I hope the kid has a great college career. Hope he has a good pro career. Definitely gonna be rooting for the kid. Can't wait to have him back on the Man Hour.
Yeah, we all need to go hang out at some point with Zen because he's a very humble human being as well.
He's a great interview too, man.
Yeah. So Javier says, he donated that $5 just a little bit ago, but he says, I believe in Tua and Justin Fields. They won me money in college, LOL, and they will win in the NFL. So previously, Javier said that Tua and Justin Fields will be superstars in the NFL. Tori, do you agree with that statement at all?
Justin, yes. I think Justin will be. Tua, not so much. I think Tua is going to be, once he figures it out, an above average quarterback who is going to be the woulda, coulda, shoulda type quarterback that's going to be able to be a starter, but never quite be that guy that we thought that he was going to be. And I'm trying to think of who the best comparison would be to that.
He kind of reminds me of a who was a quarterback that was just
Mark Bulger. He reminds me of Mark Bulger.
He was a Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback, right?
Rams. The Rams and the Ravens. He was a quarterback for.
I feel like he will kind of have a Mark Brunell type of year, or
Mark Brunell actually had a pretty good career though. He had a couple of Pro Bowls. He led the Jags to a couple of AFC title games, and
he will never get him over that hump.
I think that Tua's going to be. Again, I just think he's going to be one of those backups. Look, in the NFL, you only get 3 or 4 years to be the guy that we thought you were going to be. And then after that, you're just going to be somebody's backup.
Right.
And I think that that's what he's going to be destined to be. Like I said earlier, he's going to be the guy who's always the bridesmaid, never the bride type guy.
So we're talking a Colt McCoy that's still in the NFL?
Well, I was thinking maybe a Cordell Stewart where you do just enough 1 year that you show enough
I
promise
think Nick
to
Foles
be a
is
starter.
great comparison.
Yeah, Foles would be a good comparison too.
Yeah. Yeah. So Justin Fields, are we seeing like a superstar MVP? Maybe like, you know, how Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes kind of took over the league. Are we seeing that from Justin Fields?
Tori, I'll let you
I-
answer this one because I don't want to be called a homer, so I'm gonna let the Packers fan answer.
My thing is, no, I 100% can see that coming from Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is going to be a phenomenal quarterback in this league. He has everything that you look for in a quarterback plus the intangibles. That's why, like, as much as I hate anything Ohio State and I hate the Chicago Bears, I can't root against this kid because the kid has it. He just has it.
Yeah, and when you say has it, that's what he has. He has that it factor. He is the guy who can come into any situation and make your team better. He is just everything that we're talking about Deshaun Watson being. In 4 years, we're going to be talking about Justin Fields the same way. So I'm happy he's a Bear. I'm happy that they made the right decision and went up and traded for the kid. It's going to be fun to actually watch my team finally have a franchise quarterback.
So in 4 years, we're gonna be talking about the Bears trading him because he wants out.
No. We're talking about how he could make any team better because he's going to be coming up off of his rookie deal, and the Bears wait till the last minute to sign everybody.
So before we head out for tonight, Combs, I don't think you were on this show, but Tori said that Deshaun Watson to Minnesota Vikings makes perfect sense. So let's say that would happen. And we are looking at the NFC North with Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields, and Jared Goff. Is that the best four quarterback duo in all NFL in the same division?
Yeah, I mean, and he's right. I mean, it does make perfect sense to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think you see Aaron Rodgers in this division after this year, though. But yeah, I think that this division would be, I mean, just stacked with quarterback talent. I mean, and this would be, I mean, look, this is already one of the best divisions in the NFL period anyway. It would just be that much better to watch them with that level because there's never been that level of quarterback play on multiple teams at the same time in this division. I mean, you had Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, and the Bears and the Vikings have kind of been in limbo. I mean, you can say what you want about Kirk Cousins. He's just he's not that guy. So no, I would actually like it if the Vikings went and got Deshaun Watson because I think it would just make this division that much more fun to watch.
So, Tori, we have been on the Man Hour here for almost a year, 9 months, and we have repeatedly said that the NFC West is the toughest division in all of football. Let's say Deshaun Watson goes to the Vikings. Would that make the NFC North the toughest division in football, hands down?
No, because I still think the NFC West and the AFC West are probably battling out for that 1 and 2 spot right now. They are still two of the best divisions right now.
Okay. All right, guys. So we are up against that 2-hour mark here on the Man Hour as we got to break in, add some breaks and whatnot for the old radio stations and whatnot. Guys, any closing thoughts? Because we do have officially have week 1 of the college football season is starting now. There's Combs, you said 80 some games happening over the next 3 or 4 days or something
There's
crazy.
15 games today.
Yeah.
There's I think 9 games tomorrow. There's 20 something games on Saturday. There's a game on Sunday and a game on Monday.
Tori,
so
give me a game
I
to
can't
watch.
wait to watch.
Give you a game to watch. Top 25 matchup going on this weekend. Wisconsin Badgers, Penn State. Number 12 versus number 17. Both teams had kind of disappointing seasons last year. It's going to be a great bounce back game for one of them.
Combs, give me a game to watch. You're Irish?
Notre Dame, Florida State, Sunday Night Football, baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Is anybody tuning into the Alabama Miami game at the Georgia Dome?
I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Alabama lose. I'm hoping Miami can pull one out.
I think
And
Alabama's a 17-point favorite the last time I checked.
I'm a college football junkie, so it doesn't matter who's playing. I usually will turn the game on and watch it.
Look, Saturday, I might not even get out of bed. I might just stay in my underwear, have Michelle bring me some
With the-
food and some drinks up
And
to
some
the bed,
Cheetos.
and just watch college football from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed.
Javier says he's got 500 on Clemson.
Ooh,
Wow.
ooh,
Big roller there.
Clemson's playing. Clemson's one of my picks to get upset this weekend.
Clemson playing Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
That'd be a good game to watch too, because it's 3-5, right? Isn't it? 3-5,
Yeah.
I think it is.
You know, I told you my big upset pick, right? Watch out for Oklahoma to get upset by Tulane.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah, Clemson plays Georgia, and they are 3-point favorites at home.
God, 500 on Clemson. Wow, you got some nads,
See,
Javier.
I
You
would
got
have
some cojones.
I would have took the over under. The over under on that game is only 50.5. I would have took the over
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
I'll take the over easy on that.
Huh, 50.5.
Hey, let me get up on my.
That's
hold
low.
on.
That's low.
Go
Well-
ahead, we can get off the screen. I'm gonna go bet.
Well, guys, if you want to bet, head over to thrivefantasy.com. Use promo code MANHOUR. In week 1 of the NFL season, if you use promo code MANHOUR right now, they will match up to $50 on your first deposit, and they'll also give you free entry into the $100,000 giveaway. That's thrivefantasy.com. Promo code MANHOUR on iOS and Android devices. But Combs, send us out, big guy.
Man, our nation, rise up.